Hello, it's Pastor John. Good to be with you here again.
And Rochelle.
Rochelle, my wife, of course, as you know her, is with me here, and we're doing a little devotional video this morning, and just wanted to share a few thoughts with you. One of the things we love to do is listen to old-time radio.
Really old time.
What's that?
Really old time.
Yeah, no, really old-time radio. So, I mean, we like old-time music as well. I think that comes a little bit from my parents. They used to listen to that in the house all the time. And but I'll let Rochelle tell you a little bit about her favorite program that she enjoys listening to as she drives out here in the West, in the Southwest.
Well, I actually have this wonderful app called Classic Radio, and it has old radio programs clear back from the 1930s. 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s, but I can listen to some really old programs, and I love them. And I tend to listen to them when I drive. In my previous job back in Washington, I did a lot of driving out in it's high desert area out there, so it's kind of similar to this desert, but you know, it's the same idea. And I'll tell you, when I'm driving through those desert areas, I'd always be in the mood to listen to old radio episodes of Gunsmoke, because it just seems like the right place to listen to Gunsmoke when you're going through places where you can imagine those things happening. And so I really get a kick out of that. I grew up with no TV, so I guess for me, listening to a program works really well. I can imagine it in my head really well. I don't need to see it. And I've actually seen very few Gunsmokes on TV. But I listened to these Gunsmokes from radio program, and I began thinking about something. You know, there's all the adventures that happen to the characters in that show, but I always know that the marshal, Matt Dillon's gonna make sure everything's okay.
That's right.
He always comes out on top. He wins. He might be down for a while, but he'll always fix everything, and it's always okay in the end. It's like he's invincible.
In fact, what is the saying at the beginning?
Oh, it's this saying. I always say, John, this is kind of like pastors. It's the first man they look for, but the last man they want to see. And it makes a man watchful and at times lonely. So maybe that goes for pastors too.
Yeah, so wait a minute, the first person, the first man they look for, and the last one they want to see. I hope that's not about your pastor.
That's in the grocery store when you're buying something that you think you might feel guilty about. But anyway, I thought, you know, it's funny how in these shows, as I listen to different ones, Matt Dillon always comes out okay. He can do everything. He fixes every situation. And it's amazing when you think about different quote heroes that we would have in shows like this and on TV shows and dramas. We love shows where the good guy wins, and they always make sure that people are vindicated and it's all okay. The sad reality is that in real life, it doesn't always work that way, because if Matt Dillon was a real guy, he wouldn't always win every time, because we live in a world of sin and people are not invincible. But it made us, when we were talking about this, think we do know someone who has that perfect record, who is completely invincible and makes sure good wins and always comes out on top.
That's right. I love this text. Its passage is coming from 2 Samuel chapter 22 and verses 32 and 33. It says, "For who is God except the Lord? And who is a rock except our God? God is my strength and power, and he makes my way perfect." He is absolutely all-powerful. He makes our way perfect. When we hold on to him by faith and we trust him, we don't have to worry about it. We don't have to look for a Matt Dillon or someone else like that in our life to come in and save the day. We have a God that is a mighty rock, a mighty fortress, and he always comes through.
That's right.
So what a wonderful thing to remember.
Especially right now when life just feels weird. Nothing seems normal right now, and it can be a little disconcerting. But we know that Jesus wins, and so he is our ultimate hero, who's always going to make sure the right thing happens and takes care of every situation, and it all comes out okay.
So take that thought with you today and throughout this week, that God is your rock, your fortress, your mighty all-powerful God. He stands with you throughout the week. And so with him by your side, you have nothing to fear.
It's gonna be okay.
God bless you. Have a terrific week.
Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye.